So let's talk about why so many app projects just completely go off the rails. We're going to uncover the 10 hidden killers that can take a brilliant idea and turn it into a huge, expensive problem.
You know, it almost always starts with a story like this one. The plan says 3 months, but here you are 9 months later and you're still waiting. The budget's totally blown, and that finish line, it just seems to get further and further away.
Does that sound familiar? Yeah, I bet it does. If you've ever been near a digital project, you've probably felt that exact same frustration.
But here's the thing, the real secret. The problem? It's usually not the code. It's not the tech. The real issue, the thing that silently sinks these projects, is all these hidden business risks that nobody's even looking at.
All right, so let's get right into it. First up, we're going to talk about the big mistakes that happen way before a project even gets going. Let's call this the failing app scenario.
Okay, risk number 1, the delayed launch. And look, this is way more than just a missed deadline. It's a strategic failure. Every single month you're late, you're missing out on market opportunities, you're burning through your marketing budget, and you're just crushing your team's spirit. So if this is you, the fix is simple but urgent. You need to stop right now and redesign the entire timeline and your priorities with a team that actually knows what they're doing.
And that leads us right to its very close cousin, risk number 2, the burned budget. This is where your project just becomes a bottomless pit for money. Cash is flowing out, but you have absolutely nothing to show for it. No MVP, no beta version, nothing you can show to a user or an investor. The fix for this one? It's going to sound drastic, but you have to do it. Stop the payments. Demand a totally clear picture of the current status and the total cost to actually get it done.
Now, this next one is tricky because it always sounds so innocent at first. Risk number 3 is scope creep. You know, it's that little voice that whispers, hey, let's just add this one more small feature. But it's never, ever just one, right? It becomes this endless cycle, and you never launch a stable version. The only way out is to be absolutely ruthless, to find what is essential for your minimum viable product, your MVP, and move every other idea to version 2 or 3 or 10. Just get it off the list for now. And that actually leads perfectly into our next killer, risk number 4, no product owner. Think about it. When there's no single person to make the final call, the project just turns into a battlefield. You've got conflicting demands from every stakeholder, and your poor development team is stuck in the middle. The answer is to appoint a real product owner, someone with the actual authority to say yes or no. They're the ones who protect the team and give everyone that clear direction they desperately need.
Okay, so we've looked at those foundational problems. Now let's shift gears and talk about the next set of traps, the ones that happen during the build and really mess up your relationship with your actual users. This section is all about execution and user traps.
All right, risk number 5, insufficient testing. So many teams treat testing like it's this optional thing you do at the end, if there's time. Well, that is an absolute recipe for disaster. A buggy launch doesn't just make you look bad, it completely destroys user trust, and that's almost impossible to get back. The solution is to weave testing right into the development process from the very beginning. We're talking unit tests, QA, user acceptance testing, the whole shebang. It can't be an afterthought.
And then there's risk number 6, weak UX, or user experience. Your app could be the most technically brilliant thing ever built, but if it's confusing or frustrating, people are going to delete it in minutes. I mean, just think about it. You're pouring all this money into marketing to get people to install it, and then they leave because the design is a mess. Weak UX is the silent killer of your marketing budget. If this is happening, you've got to redesign your main user flows with a professional UX designer, period.
This brings us to a really big one. Risk number 7, no metrics. So many teams are asking the wrong question. They ask, is the app ready? But what does that even mean? It's totally based on feelings. The right questions are based on data. Things like, what is our 7-day user retention? Where are people dropping off in our sign-up process? How many times are they completing the most important action? See the difference there? One is a guess, the other is a fact. And here's the real takeaway for this one. Without data, you are just guessing. Your project isn't a managed investment, it's just a really, really expensive experiment. So here's the fix. Before you build a single new feature, you have to define and implement your key performance indicators, your KPIs. Get a reporting dashboard set up. From now on, data makes the decisions, not feelings.
Okay, for our final section, let's zoom out a bit and look at the long-term health of your app.
We're going to talk about the people and process problems that can kill your project, even long after it's launched.
In this first one, man, it's a ticking time bomb. Risk number 8, developer dependency. You've probably seen this, the hero developer. It's that one person who holds all the knowledge in their head. They're the only one who really understands the code. So what happens if they quit or just go on vacation? Your project comes to a dead stop. Your business is literally being held hostage. The only way to defuse this is to invest in documentation, code reviews, and just making sure knowledge gets shared across the whole team. Risk number 9 is a close relative of that last one. No documentation. Without good documentation, you are chained to your current vendor. It's called vendor lock-in, because if you ever want to leave them, the cost and time for a new team to get up to speed would be astronomical. You've basically given away control of your own product. So this is crucial. Your contract needs to make it crystal clear that you own the source code and all the documentation that goes with it. And that brings us to our final hidden killer, number 10, no maintenance plan. It's so tempting to think the work is done the second your app goes live, but launch is just the beginning. Bugs are going to pop up, new OS versions will come out, the market will change. Without a plan for maintenance and future updates, your app is going to become obsolete fast. You need a partner who's thinking about the entire life cycle of your product, not just the launch day.
So we've just walked through 10 really different risks, right? But if you look closely, they all point back to the same single thing. The real fix isn't about writing better code. It's about having better risk management.
There's a quote from our source material that just nails it. The problem is a lack of risk management, clear decision-making, and professional product structure. At the end of the day, your app isn't just a project. It's a business asset, and you have to start treating it like one.
And that leaves us with one last, really important question you need to ask yourself. So take a good, hard look at your own project. Is it on the path to becoming a real business asset that actually creates value? Or is it turning into one of those expensive, half-finished projects that just gathers dust? It's your call.